Hello and welcome to Core with Core. Today we have a quick workout. It is all going to be done on the mat with no equipment. There is an option if you would like to add weights at one point, you can. I will let you know when to do so if you want to grab those now. Otherwise, you're just going to meet me lying down on your back on the mat. All right, once you find your way lying all the way down, we're just going to go into some knee sways, just swaying those knees left to right, lifting up from one hip and then the other. And then make those sways a little bit smaller here, just trying to navigate a place we feel balanced from east to west. Once we find that place, we hold those knees still, and we're going to go into pelvic rocking. So I want you to think about using that movement through your hip bones, relaxing that low back all the way down onto that mat, and then arching that low back away. And repeat. Rocking that pelvis forward and back. And then making this movement a little bit smaller here, navigating that place you feel balanced from north to south now. Once we find that place, we'll hold still. This is going to be our neutral. So you want to try and stay in this exact position each time you're lying on your back. So we're feeling balanced from east to west, north to south. Now let's add in some marching just to keep our body stabilized. So we're just going to bring our right knee into our chest, lower back down. Bring your left knee to chest, lower back down. Check in with that pelvis, make sure it's staying exactly where you found it before. Keeping that upper body completely still on the mat. We can begin to invite that belly button away from our t-shirt, tucking it into the spine and up, as well as lowering the rib cage down to the hip bones. We'll go for 3, 2, and then on our next one, we'll float both feet to come hovering in the air. We want our knees above our hips. If that causes any pain for you, you can bring the knees in a little bit closer. Otherwise, we stay right there. We're going to go into hundreds. I want you to lift your hands all the way up to the sky. You're going to exhale, lower the hands to your hips as you glide the rib cage down to those hip bones, finding that ab curl. We rapidly pulse those hands up an inch and down an inch, creating some heat in the backs of those arms. We inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep gliding the ribs down to the hips. Invite that belly button away from that t-shirt. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. For the last time, maybe we kick our legs out of the diagonal. Keep pulsing those hands. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Hug those knees into chest, sway side to side. Take that quick reset before we go into our dead bugs. We're going to float those feet back up to sky, hands are back up to air. You're going to have your palms facing each other in the sky. I want you to extend your left leg out as you extend your right hand out. Bring everything back in. Extend the opposite side. Come back in. Left and right. And vice versa. Keep trying to stabilize that pelvis. Keep that low back pressed down to that mat. Feeling that stretch in those abdominals, using that core to bring everything back to center. Stretching out, come back to center. Keep scooping that belly button in and up. For 4. You got it, we're here for 3. Last 2. And last one on each side. Great job. Keep those knees in the sky. Keep those hands to air. And then we're gonna lower those hands down to the ground, and we'll go into single leg kicks. You're just gonna kick your right leg out, pull back in, kick your left leg out, pull back in. Continue on focusing to keep that upper body in its neutral. Working those low abdominals here, resisting any arching in that low back. If you are arching, I want you to kick up more at a diagonal instead of getting closer to the mat. For 4. Last 3. Go for 2. And last, 1 on each side. Bend those knees, hug them in, take a quick reset. And then we're gonna go into some leg circles. So I'm gonna have you extend those legs out nice and long. Hands stay on the mat. And we will start with our right leg. So we're gonna kick that right leg up to the sky. We're gonna keep the left leg down. You're gonna drop that right leg down towards the mat. Swoop to the right, come back up to sky. Down to the mat, swoop to the right, come back up to sky. Focusing on all those pressure points, keeping everything down on that mat, working that inner thigh to swoop that leg, come back to sky. We have 3, 2, and then on your next one we'll reverse. We're going to swoop out, drop down, come back up, swooping out, drop down, come back up. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug that knee into chest. Take that rest. We'll come out onto the other side. So we now keep that right leg down, left leg comes to sky. We drop that left leg down. We swoop out, come back up to sky. Dropping down. Swooping out, come back up to sky. Staying stable in that pelvis, on that sacrum bone, from east to west, to north to south. Use that core to help you stay stable. Keep hugging those abdominals into the center line of the body, as if you're knitting them together. For 3, 2, and 1. Swooping out now, come back around. Out, down, and around. Drawing those circles. For 3, 2, and 1. Hug that knee into chest, and then straighten it out. We're gonna go into our roll down. So we're gonna keep those nice long legs. We're gonna reach those arms up and over our head. We're gonna extend those arms up and over the forehead as we roll that body up to the sky and reach over to those toes. Take that stretch. Hands come back forward. We roll 1 vertebrae at a time down onto that mat. Lifting arms up. Arms come back overhead. 3 more here. Lifting those arms up. Rolling 1 vertebrae at a time up. Finding that round spine as we reach over to those toes. And again, reaching back down. Try and limit any force with those legs. You want to keep the legs from doing any of the work. Just the abdominals are moving the body up. And last one, we're going to roll all the way down. Use those abdominals, come back up. Take that stretch, reaching up and over. Great job. We are going to swing over. We're going to come up to our knees and facing one direction. I will start facing on my side. You can either face me or face on the other side, whatever is easiest for you. We are going to go into some thigh stretching. So we're gonna keep those bottoms of the feet down on that mat, using them as an anchor. We wanna make sure the knees are directly below our hip bones. We feel balance from our tips of our hip bones down to our kneecaps. We're gonna reach our arms forward. I want you to find a hinge towards the back of the mat. Come back forward. And again, hinge to the back. Come back forward. So you're squeezing those glutes to help you, as well as keeping that spine nice and straight. And then on our next one, we'll open those arms as we reach back. Squeeze everything back together. Open those arms. Come back together. For 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Drop those hands. Give those shoulders a quick roll. Maybe roll the neck out one side and then the other. And then we're going to do lifts. So we're now going to lift those arms up as we hinge back. Come back, everything to center. Lift arms up, hinge back. Come back to center. Only lift those arms up as high as you can go without arching that back. The back should stay flat this whole time. And like I said at the beginning of the class, if you want to add those weights here, you can, to have a little bit more tension for those thighs. Last 3, 2, and 1. Come up to kneeling. Roll out those shoulders. Roll out that neck. All right, we are going to do some around the world, so we're going to keep those arms straight. You're going to hinge back as you hinge to the right. Come all the way up. Come back to the left. Come to center. Drawing that circle as you rotate to the back. Come back to center. We have 4 this direction. Last 2. And last 1. Let's go the other side. Hinge to left, come all the way up, find center. Hinge to left, come all the way up, find center. Keep squeezing those glutes, protect that low back. You have 2. And last 1. Drop those hands down below those shoulders, open up those knees, sit back into your child's pose. All right, we will come all the way up to our knees. We're gonna find our one side. I will mirror you, so you will make it way to your left side. We're gonna come down onto that hip. Our hand is lying down underneath our head. We're using it as a pillow. We're gonna go into some clams here. So I want you to start with your knees stacked on top of each other. You can have your knees angled towards me. Use this top arm, we're gonna wrap it around our waist. We're gonna push it down into that mat to help with those obliques, lifting them up. You wanna keep those hips stacked on top of each other this entire time. Toes are pointed and connected. You're gonna lift the knee, lower back down for clams. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Let's bring in some mind-body connection here. So I really want you to think of using that top glute, that side part of that glute, that muscle we don't really use a lot when we're training. Think about using that glute muscle, helping to lift that knee and resisting to lower. So you lift with power and then you fight that air as you very slowly lower back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. For 3, 2. And then on your next one, we're going to keep that lift. We're going to bring those knees down to the ground. So that bottom knee is down. Those ankles are now lifted. The toes are still pointed and connected. We're going to go into a higher clam. So you're going to lower that knee, open back up, lower back down, open back up. And if you have those weights here, you can wedge them underneath that knee here, and you're just going to open and close. Still thinking about that glute muscle, creating the opening and resisting to close. For 3, 2, and 1. Hold that open. If you have the weight, you're going to take it out from underneath your knee. Otherwise, you're going to stay in this opening. You're going to kick the leg out, bend to touch those toes, lower back down, open, kick leg out, bend to touch, lower back down. If you liked having the weight there instead, you can just continue with just those open and closes. Also, if that extension of that leg is too much, continue with those open and closes. Last 3. 2. And then on your next one, you're going to keep that extension of that leg, pointing that toe. We're going to draw some tiny circles going in one direction. Theme of class today is circles going in that one direction for 4, 3, 2, and reverse opposite direction for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee, lower it back down on top of the other one. Let's give that hip a pat, waking it back up. And then we'll slowly make our way over to the other side. Swinging over down now on that right hip. Hand is below your head. Use it as a pillow. Knees are bent towards me. And we wrap that top arm around that waist, pushing down to open up those obliques so we have a tiny little gap between them and the mat. Keeping toes down to start, pointing them, keeping them connected. Open that knee, lower back down, opening again, lower back down. That side muscle on that new glute is now working here to open that knee and resist to close. And again, if you have that weight, you wedge it underneath the top knees crease. For 3, 2, and 1. Let's lift those toes. Keep that knee open. Find that place of balance. We close that knee. We open back up. Closing that knee. Open back up. Take a check. Make sure those hips are still stacked on top of each other. There wasn't any movement when we lifted those ankles. You got it. Exhale to open. Inhale to close. For 4, 3, 2. We add our kick on this next one. Open, kick out, close, drop back down. Open, kick out, close, drop back down. You got it. We have 4. Last 2. And last 1. Let's keep that leg extended. Draw those tiny circles going in one direction for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close those knees. Give that hip a pat, wake it back up. Then we'll peel ourselves up to come to kneeling. We're gonna finish off with some abs here to go in our final push for class. So we're gonna have our hands below our shoulders, our knees are below our hips, finding that neutral spine here. So you wanna make sure that you're tucking that belly button into that spine, lowering that rib cage down to those hip bones. We are gonna tuck our toes and find our knee hover. Hovering those knees above that mat, lowering to top, lift back up, lower to top, lift back up. Keep lowering that rib cage down to those hips, finding that engagement in those abs. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift all the way up to your downward dog. Lower back down to that knee hover. Lift back up. Lower back down to that knee hover. You're shooting that belly button to spine each time you lift those hips. And then you lower back down. Finding that rotation in those shoulders each time you lift. For 3, 2, and 1. We're just gonna hold in that knee hover. Hold, hold, hold. Last push. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower those knees down, open them up, connect those heels, find that child's pose. We flip those palms up to the ceiling, relaxing through those shoulders. And then drop those palms back down. We peel ourselves up to that all fours position. We're gonna lift one arm up to sky, look where it goes. And then thread it underneath the opposite arm. Dropping that shoulder down, resting that head down. Maybe you open up that top arm up to the top of the mat. Bring that hand back in. Lift that arm back up. Lower back down. Lift that arm back up to sky. Thread the needle on the other side. Winston has come to join us. And then bring that hand back in. Unthread that needle. Come back up. And you are done. Thank you so much for joining me today. And don't forget to like and subscribe. So I'll see you in your next workout. Bye.